Today, we are privileged to welcome an extraordinary individual, Lieutenant General Ashok B. Shivane sir, a distinguished scholar warrior and a second-generation officer with an illustrious career spanning 39 years in the Indian Army. An alumnus of the National Defence Academy, Pune, Sir has held prestigious positions including Director General, Mechanized Forces and Commander of the Elite Strike Corps. His exemplary service has been recognized with numerous accolades, including the PVSM, AVSM, VSM, and the honor of serving as Honorary Aide-de-Camp to the President of India. Beyond his military career, he is a renowned defense analyst, an international speaker, and an author with over 120 publications, including research on defense modernization and Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense. A true coward warrior, Sir has actively contributed to relief efforts and motivational talks during the pandemic. Currently, Sir serves as Senior Defense Advisor and Environmentalist and a distinguished fellow at the Center for Land Warfare Studies. We are truly honored to have him with us today. Please join me in welcoming Sir.
Respected Chairman, MERI Group of Institutions, Founder, Vice President, distinguished dignitaries on the stage, our guests, young budding entrepreneurs that I see the spark in their eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you and Jai Hind. Can I hear a Jai Hind a little louder, please?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a soldier's heart grow with pride to see the future in safe hands. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here this morning to express my views on a subject of immense significance to our nation. The journey of Viksit Bharat 2047 and the pivotal role of our youth power, which I call Yuva Shakti, the innovative skilling and the bolstering of startups in sharing the future of the nation. Let me start by saying that Viksit Bharat does not only represent a destination or a dream of a nation, it's a rightful place where India today has moved from being a rule taker to a rule shaper. It has moved from being a spectator in the global arena to a player in the global arena. That is the potential of the nation that is driving it to this destination of Viksit Bharat. But this destination is peculiar to India because it's a destination that represents a nation that showcases innovation, that showcases technology, that showcases inclusivity, and that showcases sustainable growth. And it is a destination that is the aspiration of 1.4 billion countrymen of this nation. More importantly, it's not something new. It is something that we are reclaiming our past. India was the most prosperous modern nation in ancient times. Somewhere around the path, through invaders and foreign rulers coming in, we got exploited and lost this path. And today, Viksit Bharat 2047 is a beacon of our knowledge, our culture, and our innovation. And that brings me to the aspect of the power of youth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this 1.4 billion, largest population of the nation, there are 65% of our citizens who are below 35 years of age. This is the dividend boom. But then, this youth power can either be a bomb or a boom. A boon if we channelize it to the right direction, a boon where we empower our youth with the tools, with the direction, with the culture of the nation and skilling. Today, education is not just now. It's an era of education, specialization, and skilling. I remember when I was in school, we just had three sections: humanities, engineers, and medicals. And today, I've got two daughters. When my daughters are in school, I couldn't finish off the list of sections that went into pages. That is the transition of generations and the boom that the country is going through. Coming to skilling, ladies and gentlemen, today we are in the fourth industrial revolution where technology is disrupting every aspect of life. It is something that needs to be a part and parcel of our daily life and to evolve, adapt, exploit ethically, beneficially for the nation and for ourselves as such. Therefore, our skilling initiatives that are taken up by several institutions and startups has to be holistic. It has to have an industry orientation. It has to promote a lifelong learning. It has to promote exploitation of technology and digital learning. And it has to be inclusive. And this is very important. Inclusive because it must reach the rural mass. Inclusive in gender neutrality, and inclusive for the marginalized community. That is the Bharat that we are looking for beyond just the height of India as such, urban India as such. Now, where do the startups come up in this as a catalyst of this transformation? You're well aware, I think, with all of you as aspiring entrepreneurs and startups, that today India has emerged the third largest startup hub in the nation. Last year itself, there were 140,000 startups generating more than 1.5 million direct jobs, showcasing the transformation power of entrepreneurship. Well, that's good. That's very good news. But there are several challenges that must be addressed upfront. And just this morning, before starting the event, when I was speaking to your honorable chairman, and we were discussing that what is the future of startups and are they reaching the destination that they rightfully should. And I mentioned to him, I think the first challenge that remains is starting a startup is the easier part of it. Sustaining the startup and achieving the goals for which it has started is more important. And therefore, it's not only a startup how to encourage them to join the journey. It is to nurture them, to mentor them, to guide them all throughout the journey, because the hurdles start once the journey begins. And in life, there is no joy unless you overcome these challenges. And these challenges are best addressed when you have mentors, you have guides who talk to you on risk sharing, gain sharing, who continue to motivate you, and who continue to instill the feeling of 3 Ps, which I call it: passion, patience, and perseverance. Yes, access to fund continues to be a challenge for the nation for startups. And an ASCOM's report says 90% of the startups fail within the first 5 years because of sustaining funds. And that's what I spoke of. There are also regulatory hurdles, the ease of doing business. While India has progressed substantially from being 142nd in the global ranking to 63rd, but 63rd is also not something that we can take pride on. I think that is some area where, particularly for startups, and I've experienced some of these with the defense startups, which I also mentor. The ease of doing business needs to be further improved. Then there's the market competition also, where cost cutting over brand loyalty at times takes place. And that's where some disheartening factors come in. Also, there's a factor, when I spoke of the 3 Ps there, of talent acquisition. Many young startups compare with their colleagues in terms of salaries which cannot be matched with those who are working in the larger corporates. You have to be a long distance runner, not a short distance runner in life. You have to have your destination, and I'm sure once you have a long-term view of your startup, of your entrepreneurship, you shall achieve not only financially, morally, and with a lot of satisfaction, which is more important. So the way ahead for this is, I think, this policy reforms, enhanced funding of capitals throughout, not just the beginning, skill development and specialization, which is essential, digital infrastructure development, particularly in the rural areas, to get them also integrated into the system, mentorship and networking, not only during the starting of the startups, like I mentioned, but through a womb to tomb concept of this, and leveraging science and technologies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would say that I'm very confident that as India marches towards its centenary independence 2047, Viksit Bharat will not just be a destination, but it will be a collective journey of all of us. And we are fortunate to see that journey begin, which will be powered by the youth. It will be accelerated by the skilling, and it will be driven by the innovative spirit of startups and entrepreneurs. Together, I think we can build a nation that we aspire for, a nation that rightfully should be on the pedestal that it richly deserves. I have full trust, I have full faith, and full confidence in our future generation, and I'm sure this destination will go beyond a dream to a reality. Thank you very much. Jai.